What's up guys, Mike here, the Detroit Borg, and once again Apple has released a bunch of new case colors for the fall to align with the new iPhone XS and XS Max. Of course, these colors are also coming to other accessories like the Apple Watch bands and some iPad cases, so I thought it'd be a good time to take a look at all the colors side by side to help you pick the right one. So we're going to look at both the silicone cases and the leather cases and compare those. I've been doing these videos for a number of years and they seem to be pretty popular, so let's get started. First up, we have the silicone cases, and they're $39 for both the XS and XS Max, so no difference in price between the sizes. We have 9 colors to pick from, and the most vibrant of them is Nectarine, which is kind of an orange color. We also get Lavender Gray, which is kind of a muted lavender color, more of a gray color. Blue Horizon is another new blue color, which is kind of a darker, deeper blue. We have Stone, which is sort of a taupe color, but it's a little on the yellow side. Pink Sand is a very, very light pink. It's almost white in comparison. We also have Midnight Blue, a color we're familiar with. We've had this for a number of years. It's kind of a deep, dark gray blue. Product Red, as always, is an Apple Store exclusive, and portions of the proceeds go toward the Product Red Foundation. And of course, we get white or black. Next up, we have the leather cases, available in 8 colors, and they retail for $49 for both sizes of the phone. So they are about $10 more expensive, and these are genuine leather cases, so they're not vegan leather or synthetic leather. By far the most vibrant color is Peony Pink. It's kind of a medium or darker, richer pink, so it's not too light or too fluorescent. It's just about right, so it's a pretty classic color for leather. Cape Cod Blue is another new color I really like, so it's kind of a medium grayish blue color, as the name suggests, and I think it's just about right. By far my favorite new color here, however, is Forest Green. It's a very dark green color. It's almost black in most lighting conditions. It's a little toward the blue side, but I think it's a perfect complement for the gold stainless steel colors. Taupe is a familiar color we've had before. Again, I really like this in leather. I think it weathers really nicely. Midnight Blue is not a new color. We've had this for a number of years, and again, we have a matching silicone case as well. Saddle Brown is another color unique to the leather cases. It's a very classic leather color, and it tends to weather more naturally than the other colors. Once again, we get Product Red, which is an Apple Store exclusive, and of course, as always, we get black as well. So altogether, we have about 4 or 5 distinct blue colors to pick from. I think Midnight Blue is the closest between the silicone and the leather cases, but it's still a very distinct shade. The Midnight Blue leather has a darker indigo color compared to the more gray blue in silicone. And of course, Cape Cod Blue is slightly lighter and more gray than the deeper Blue Horizon color. Lavender Gray is more toward the blue side than lavender, so it's kind of close, but again, I wouldn't really consider that blue. Both silicone and leather get a pink color, but they're quite different. Obviously, the leather pink is much more vibrant than the very soft and nearly white pink. Product Red is once again quite different between the silicone and the leather case. The leather case is a deeper red compared to the more orange red on silicone. Stone on silicone and taupe on leather are also variations of the same color. Obviously, taupe is a bit darker, which is appropriate for the leather color, while stone is extremely light, almost off-white in color. There's a few other colors that don't really match between silicone and leather. White is only available in silicone, and we also have that tangerine or orange color. Saddle Brown is only available in leather, and of course we have that deep forest green. Both the silicone and leather cases are lined in a color matching microfiber material, which does a good job stabilizing any grit that might get between the phone and the case, so it doesn't grind against the phone and scratch it. However, that microfiber material wraps around the inside edge on the silicone case, but it doesn't do so on the leather case. So I think the silicone case might provide a little more protection to the stainless steel edge of the iPhone XS and XS Max. But all of the buttons are covered up with a cutout for the mute switch. When it comes to those buttons, only the leather case gets those metallic buttons, which feel very much like the metallic buttons on the iPhone, so they're very tactile. The silicone case have softer buttons with that contrasting color which matches the Apple logo. Both cases provide excellent protection for the camera along the back, along with a nice edge around the front glass, so when you lay the phone face down, the glass isn't touching the surface. Both cases have really wide openings at the bottom of the phone for the Lightning connector, the speaker, and the microphone, but this is also a gesture area where you swipe up to go home or swipe between your apps, so you want to have some space here. You don't want to be cramped by the case, so I think this design is appropriate for the iPhone XS and XS Max, but of course many people are discouraged by the exposure here. Now there's plenty of edge protection, so I've never really run into issues where dropping the phone means you scratch or damage this area. You really have to land the phone just right to hit it. Generally speaking, I think the leather case feels nicer in the hand, but the material is more slippery. It also adds a bit more bulk than the silicone cases, which I think are a little tighter to the phone, but the silicone cases are quite a bit more grippy. The only issue is that the silicone cases, although they don't age as quickly as the leather cases, when they do age, add to the patina of the leather, while the silicone cases just sort of wear out. So the biggest issue with silicone is that grippy surface wears out along the edges, so it actually gets even stickier along the edges, while the leather cases just sort of patina or get dirty, especially along the edges, which is more noticeable on the lighter color, which is why I generally recommend light colors for silicone and dark colors for leather. One of the other cases available is the folio case, which we saw with the iPhone X, so that's been updated for the XS and the XS Max. Now, I've already done a review of this for the iPhone X, and that review applies here as well. So again, we have a flap that covers the screen and wakes it up or puts it to sleep when you open and close it, very similar to an iPad. But what's kind of interesting is that the product red color on this case is a bit darker than it is on the standard case. Now, personally speaking, I don't think there is a right color match. Basically, they all look great no matter what iPhone you put in them. But I think the color combination that I really like this year is forest green and gold, which is what I'm using at least right now. It's a color combination I haven't really seen before on Apple, and I think it works really good here. There are a few third-party cases that I can recommend that might fit your needs a bit better. Spec has one of my favorite cases, which is the Presidio Grip. This is actually the case I used with my iPhone X, and I used that for a full year. It's kind of a hybrid case with a hard shell combined with a soft shell, so you have lots of shock protection with lots of grip thanks to the ridges on the outside. Incipio also has a wide selection of cases to pick from. One of my favorites is the Esquire series, which has a fabric coating on the outside and lots of cushioning on the inside, so it's a really nice case to grip. The Octane Pure is a clear case with lots of shock protection along the edges, so you can still appreciate the design of your phone with lots of protection around it. The Dual Pro is a double layer case, so we have a silicone layer on the inside, a hard shell on the outside, but it's not too bulky, but again, it provides lots of protection to your phone for both shock as well as grip protection on the inside. Now, something to keep in mind is that iPhone X cases generally will not work on the iPhone XS, and that's because the camera module shifted down just slightly. So it's been repositioned, which means the camera cutout doesn't always line up anymore. Alright guys, so that's going to do for me in this video, and what I want to know from you is what color or case do you personally prefer for your iPhone? Please let me know in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like to let me know, and I'll see you again in my next one.